When you're trying to communicate in English, do you sometimes struggle and just get stuck, or maybe your brain freezes and you think, wow, how can I improve? How can I actually start to identify the gaps in my English communication skills? And what steps can I take to help me to finally overcome these challenges and some of these hurdles that we face in English? So in this video today, I'm going to give you some practical tips on how, first of all, you can identify your gaps in your English communication skills. Then how can you create a plan to help you to overcome some of these challenges and hurdles in your English? And then finally, some advice to help you structure it and finally start to figure out ways that you can actually recover within a conversation. So we call this English communication recovery practice. It's actually when you are speaking and you can't remember a word, and then you find another way to describe it or to give the summary. And this is really good practice to help you to not just identify your weaknesses in English, but to help you, to give you a solution to finally starting to be able to use various ways of saying things in English, because English is a very flexible language, so even if you forget how to express something in one way, there are a million other ways, okay? But it means your vocabulary level needs to be higher, your communication skills need to be higher, and your language accuracy also needs to be higher, so that you can start expressing things in various ways and you don't often get stuck. If you're just relying on one language pattern, one sentence pattern, you become a lot more restricted in the way that you use English. Whereas, for native speakers, for example, they have a whole range of vocabulary and sentence patterns and grammar that they can use to help them to really start to articulate and to express things in a way that's very natural, that's very native, and shows a lot of confidence in their language abilities, okay? This is also related to something called automatization. So automatization is when in your mind, the neural pathways can automatically bring the words to your mind very quickly, automatically, subconsciously. Whereas when you're learning English as a second language, it takes, of course, a long time to develop automatization. But when you, over time, as your vocabulary builds, as these grammatical patterns start to become ingrained in your mind, then you're really going to start to see huge improvement in your language speed, in your language fluency, because your neural pathways are actively strengthened and they are working much harder to bring you the vocabulary that you need and to help you to feel good when you are expressing things in English, okay?